Alright guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman YouTube channel, The Hunter Collective. Today we've got Salman in the chair and we've just had a consultation and Salman would like a 0.5 into a 1 on the back and sides, but we'll keep it sort of fairly low in the transition from the 0.5 into the top, so just quite a low blend on the bottom. And then he likes it sort of shorter towards the back here, sitting flat, and just a very nice classic haircut, so just up at the front and then just kind of slightly coming back here, basically working with the way his hairline is. So if I just turn you slightly towards me, if you look at the way his hairline kind of comes up and then on this side it does tend to sit back. So just kind of going with it really, which is quite nice because a lot of the time going with how your hair wants to grow and wants to sort of almost style itself actually makes it so low maintenance, like super low maintenance. So again, I think that's, again, if it works like that and you can make it cut and sit in well, I think that's a perfect hairstyle for someone like yourself who wants that haircut. What I've noticed on the previous haircut though, is that we've got quite a heavy disconnection on this side. Probably because he's wearing it over to one side, I'd imagine there's disconnection here. But the problem with that is that when you cut it slightly asymmetric, it grows out asymmetric. So you end up being left loads of length here. You have to kind of flatten down and push down just to make it sit in. He doesn't need the disconnection in this haircut, to be honest. I think it's probably making his hair more high maintenance than low maintenance because it's got to find somewhere to sit. Again, more hair, more thickness. Salman's hair is very thick. That'll just end up making it come either further out, which will end up making his routine the more and harder to style because it's longer in areas that it doesn't need to be. So I think we'll cut that disconnection out and just make something that's very low maintenance, but as he's got now, just a shorter version of that, basically. So just a nice classic haircut, really. So I'll give it a wash, condition, and then we'll get you started. All right, cool. Right guys, so I've just shampooed and conditioned it. Now I'm just going to start combing it out from the crown, so I just want to check exactly what the previous cut was like. So what we'll do is I will put in a horseshoe section, just from below the crown, just a very basic one, just from the session point, just drop it down the crown. Very basic. Again, we're going for quite a low maintenance haircut here, so I'm just looking to separate the sides and the back. So I'm just going to start at the crown, bring it around. What this will do as well, this will expose that little disconnection that we want to get rid of, just to make it a lot more low maintenance for him. There we go. Just open the mirror as well, so that all matches up in the mirror. Now I'm drying the back and sides off, and then I'm going to start, as I always do, with my number 2 and work down into that 0.5. So I'm just drying this off as we're going to start working with clippers. It's always nice to see exactly what it's like when it's dry. It's much easier to see any problem areas that it's going to come across, and also let me see exactly how it's going to sit as well. That's why I tend to dry it off. It's always good to work on dry hair with clippers as well. Right, so starting with number 2. Salman's head shape at the back, it's fairly square. It's very flat as well. It doesn't sit too flat towards the crown. Where the crown's positioned, it seems to create a nice bit of head shape. It's a little bit flatter through here, but it isn't too wide at the crown area. So what I'll do, I'll be working sort of fairly high up with this as well. Not taking it right up and off, but I know we're going to be working short on the crown as well, but I'll be working to about here and blending it. Still keeping a nice squareness for the profile there as well. So we go a touch higher than normal on my number 2 first. So we're working that 0.5 quite low as well, so it doesn't really matter too much on the 2 because this is just where the blend starts. But as I was trying to explain to Salman as well at the start when he was thinking about keeping it quite low and trying to work on a lower blend, the only thing is with it being so thick on the back and sides, what he'll probably end up finding, say 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the haircut, it starts to go out and big because it's so thick and it's quite coarse, super thick, and that will just end up building up and almost creating like a more like slightly rounder shape at the sides and almost changing the whole effect of this haircut that he's going for. So I just suggest to keep the 0.5 low still. We'll just still work up on a higher blend throughout. It'll just sit better for the shape of his face and also the way it'll grow out as well. Straight onto my 1 guard, lever pulled back. I'm starting just above this longer hair. I'm working up and off. We're starting to graduate now into our 0.5 around the edges. Just working up and off into my 2. Starting to create a nice graduation and down to that 0.5 now. To my 1, to my closed guard. Working from the longer hair and just pull it up and off into that 1.5. And just below where the 1.5 finished. And just flicking down to the 1.5 and just starting to perfect that. working across now, from left to right. Zero 0.5 guard on, closed. I'm working right down from the nape. And while I'm here, put the lever down and work through the lever until it graduates, blends, fades, whichever way you like to use, into the one. Again, keeping that 0.5 nice and low. A really nice seamless graduation as well. I think what's nice about the 0.5 length, like this is the length that I choose as well, sort of I prefer, is that it's still lovely and short, but it's not as aggressive as a 0. I think it just has that little slightly smarter look to it as well, which I prefer as well, and I think it works. It was a good judgment call for Salmon as well. I think it's a good idea to go for a 0.5. I think it has that really nice smartness without that sort of severe look that a 0 can sometimes bring. So it was a good choice, really. Now take the guard off. Now I've got the open blade, lever down. Now I'm just going to work just into a nice low taper onto the neck. Then nothing too severe, keeping that blend nice and low again, so working down through the lever. Now what a good thing to do for Salmon's neckline, as you can see, goes really quite low, but I think where the hair stops being thick is around here. So I'm going to raise this neckline up to there, because that's the best point where it will look the most natural for him. If you work it too low, it can sometimes give the appearance of a long neck. So I always take it a little bit higher to where the strongest point of the hairline actually is. So what I'm going to do for this, because of where it is, I'm going to put my 0 in, and work just at the very bottom where the actual nape is, where the actual hairline is the thickest. So run this over his sideburns as well. I'm just going to work down through the lever as well, just to try and match up to that stubble as well, so it has a bit more of a nice seamless blend into his stubble too. Working lower down the sideburns until we get into a nice stubble length too. There we go. Now what we'll do is I'll blend that in to the transition area now. So lift that up. Again, I can take a bit more off through the crown, so we're just going to go nice and short towards the back. And I think this will be better. I think for the profile as well, it doesn't need to have a lot of length through the crown, because it sits really nice and square through the back. So I hope we can get away with going a little bit short, which will actually help the longevity of the style. And also it'll work better for his head shape as well. Okay, now you'll see a lot of length coming off as we get to this side now. That's just where that disconnection was. Which I just think, personally, it'll work a little bit better without. I just think it'll last a little bit longer for him, and it's not really gaining him anything at the moment, because as he's wearing his hair over to the side, it doesn't look as though he needs that weight in it. So what I'll also do as well, because it is so thick, it does tend to grow outwards on the side of his hair. I'm going to work down as well, just to cap off any of them little hairs that want to fly out and almost ruin the shape. And it's just, again, gives that nice seamless finish to a blend as well. There we go. Now what I'll do is I'll move on to lining this hair out, but I'll also, around the 0.5, I'll be using the size 1 comb to just smooth off that kind of the heaviness from the half into the 2. Detail the hairline. Again, I'm not going to cut too much into this. I just think with Salmon, his hair being so thick, and obviously he looks like he's got a very strong beard growth as well, and obviously as your neckline, I don't want to create too much stubble for him as well. I just think it'll end up growing out too quickly for him. So I think trying to stay as far out away from the hairline, just enough to strengthen it, will actually add a bit of longevity to Salmon's edging basically on this one. Now just working up into that zero with the minis. Again, just trying to strengthen up this hairline. Not put into it too much. Then just looking to strengthen this more than create it. Make sure it's got a really nice low transition into that 0.5. This is a really good technique for anyone who's got super thick hair. And it just helps when you're working over the size 1 comb, because this goes down to obviously a number 1. It just gives a really nice, more precise blend sometimes as well, because you can pick exactly where you want it to be. So again, the look we're going for, super low maintenance, and also working with what Salmon's hair wants to do naturally as well. Which I think, again, it's a good choice, because you're forcing it sometimes too much, it becomes really high maintenance. So if, let's say you wanted to have a part on the right hand side, it wouldn't work that well because it wants to grow this way. Especially where this crown is, it will probably have a kickback against, as you can see. So I think going with what you've got is really good. Again, your barber can advise you on that as well. How's that length for you, Simon? Do you want a bit more, a bit less? What are you thinking?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
About that, yeah? Cool. Now, just because if you look at the ends of his hair, it's quite dry, right? That can just be weather, that can be stress, it can just be the way his hair can be this time of year, it can be anything, right? So I'm going to cut it nice and uniform. It will strengthen up the ends of his hair, and because he's wearing it nice and classic, we don't need to add a lot of texture to this, because he's looking to wear it just up and over. If we start cutting like sort of root lift in there or any kind of different lengths, what will happen is it won't stay as uniform all the way through. It'll start kicking out here, left, right and centre, which works great like someone like mine. Obviously this style it won't work at all. So again, this is going to be, again, low maintenance, classic finish. Will really help him out. And again, just getting that a little bit shorter, so lowering my fingers down with each section towards the back. One section just before the crown, there we go. There's no chance that crown sticking up because we haven't cut it off, and we haven't cut into the section either. Let's do the side. A good thing as well, Salmon said he just uses hairspray, so this needs to be cut perfectly so it doesn't show off any steps, any longer bits in there that doesn't need to be there. So it's got to be cut really well. But also by doing smaller sections, it's less visible when you're removing length. It's a lot more graduate as well. So if I was doing wide sections, you'd see the long, short, long, short, long, short. If I was having my haircut, that's what we do on mine. But with something like this, where it's very nice and flat and up and over, smaller the section, the better the graduation can be as well. It's less noticeable. And again, this is a low maintenance haircut. It's got to be less noticeable. I'm going to cut this fringe short to the blend because this sits back. We don't want to keep it too long on this side. And as you see, it naturally sits back nice anyway. Again, very small sections as we're working through this to eliminate any chance of seeing any steps or anything like that, or something uneven. So I'm using longer scissors now, slightly not as offset as the ones from before, and I'm just going to work and just perfect this transition from the 2 and the blend into the top. Now I'm picking it just off centre. There's my guide, and you cut this shorter. Now again, he's not wearing a parting, it's just brushed over. That's why I'm taking out that disconnection, because it'll almost create a parting for him. Or he starts bringing the length from like here around, which could look like a comb over, which we don't want. We just want something very low maintenance, very easy. So something to work with the way his hair grows, which again, what we're trying to stick to here to make it easy for him. And just getting gradually shorter, lowering my fingers down after each section from the fringe, just to create that shorter element towards the back, and let the fringe be the longest point. Now by doing that, as you can see, Liam, if you come on this side, by bringing the fringe back here, I haven't actually cut any length off the fringe. It's still really long. So that's what's nice about bringing it back to the session point, is by cutting it to there, as you can see, it still maintains length. Because if you look there, all that fringe is being pulled back. So that is what an over direction is, bringing everything over and then cutting it. And just remember, there will be a slight bit of build up on this side because the crown's a little bit to the right. So you can work still be higher up and then just drop it down on the last section, just so you don't cut that crown. Working on this blend into the top. Now what we'll do is we'll finish on the fringe. Now remember, we'll still be a little bit longer at the front because he lifts it up and over. Then I'll work around and follow the hairline so we mix the blend. As we reach the blend, that all matches in, so you know when he works that back, that's going to sit nice and seamless into that blend as well. And you're going to work around and connect it to the other side of the blend as well, so it's sitting very natural. It will still be the highest point over this side, so you bring it up and over. That will still work nice over as well. Very natural, very easy, very low maintenance. We've got the guide under there. Start to connect this in now. This is our section where the weight builds up through there. There we go. Up and over. So what I'll do, to thin it out, towards the back, I'll add some collapse to it, so I'll make sure that we thin it out from the base of the hair to make that sit flatter, and then through the fringe, I'll point cut in just above halfway, just to thin that out a little bit as well for them. So what we'll do, we'll section out the fringe first, leave that, and then pick it up just from before the crown, not into the crown. I'm just going to cut in at the base, all right? This will take a long time to grow out, so it hasn't got to wait about 3 or 4 weeks, the average time of a haircut, for that to grow out and stick up. But he wants that to sit flat. By doing that and taking the thickness out of the base, that'll sit really, really flat for him. If I was cutting it halfway through here, that would spike up. Again, short hair pushes the longer hair up. I'm cutting in to the base of the hair. Then guys, this is my alternative to using, say, thinning scissors, for example. I always tend to try and pick the parts that I want to be thinned out more than just kind of like uniform and kind of thinning out, as you will do, say, if you're just working straight through the top with a pair of thinning scissors, for example. I always like to just kind of pick the areas that I want to thin out more than just kind of do it all the way over the top. Now, as we get to the fringe, pick it up, just from above halfway, go straight inwards, not on any angle at all, just straight down towards me, just to thin out this hair. But I'm not going too short so at the point the fringe sticks forward, so just above halfway. Do one more. You can see I'm taking out the thickness, but I'm keeping the same shape. There we go. Now what I'll do is I'll dry it off, make sure it's sitting all right, and then we can have a little look at the finished article. So we're working on the high heat, low, like sort of medium to low speed. Again, we're looking to control this hair, not just blast the hair through. So when I was drying the back and sides off for the clipper work, it was high speed, high heat, just purely for speed and to dry it off. Whereas now we're looking to control the hair. So slowing down the speed of the hairdryer, how fast the air is blown out of the hairdryer, helps a lot when it comes to kind of styling something that's very smooth and not untextured, shall we say. Use that brush to roll up the fringe weather. Right, everything's balanced, everything's sitting nice, and just working with exactly the way his fringe wants to grow. You can see it grows that way. And then just bring it across. And blowing up against the way the hair grows, that creates height. And we'll use that to finish off through the sides there as well. There we go. How's that look for you, mate? Yeah. Is that all right, yeah? Awesome. So really, really easy, classic haircut, but it's a really super effective haircut as well, because it's just so easy to style as well. So just finish with a bit of hairspray. So I'd always start from the back again, as always, get the crown in. From as far a distance as your arms will go. I've got T-Rex arms, so I can't go that far away on mine, unfortunately. And just spray it like that. And then what you're just good to finish off with, spray it onto your hands, through your hands. Almost use it like you're using a product. And that'll really be able to help you personalise the way you want it to be. Okay. And then just with whatever's left in your hands, just flatten down and get rid of any little flyaway hairs. And then just really mould the haircut. And that's it. All done. Is that all right? Happy, yeah? Awesome, mate. Thank you very much. So to recap, guys, what we did was a low 0.5 into a 1 blend, and then we cut it very uniform through the top and just followed basically the way Salman likes it to style. So it was just coming nice and flat at the back, up and across, from very conservative, very easy, very low maintenance, but also it works perfectly the way his hair grows. It grows across at the fringe, and he wants to sit it flat at the back. So we help to do that by thinning it out, doing more what we call collapse. So you cut at the base of the hair to remove the thickness of the hair, but and it also helps to sit flatter as well, because you get rid of a lot of that build up of hair, so it will always sit flatter. And then we finished off with the hairdryer and some hairspray, and that was it really. Happy? Yeah? It's cool, isn't it? Thank you very much.